Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I had a good day of a healthy relationship with food. I had a bit of a relapse for 3-4 weeks, in large part because I got too excited about a relationship with a girl, and I kind of just threw away all sorts of good judgment with my relationship with food, my relationship with other things, and but it's good. I feel like I've got back on the saddle. But I want to talk about how I have a toxic relationship with a bunch of family members. I lived with my parents until I was 25 years old. I moved out to take another job in a different city at that point. Now, I would run into situations where I would have an eating bender or any sort of bender, caffeine, workaholic kind of bender. Or you get the idea. I would run into a situation where I would have a bender because I had some turbulence in my life. It happens to all of us. And my mom would get really upset about that, and she would make noise about it as I'm binge eating. She would make noise about how much I'm eating and how much of a mess I'm making and all that. And I find it harder to get back on the saddle when she or anybody else does that, because by making noise as I'm binge eating, she's short-circuiting the enjoyment, or at least the perceived enjoyment I'm getting out of the food. And whereas now that I live alone, when I binge eat and I actually get to take it in, the good and the bad, I want to say, I quickly get over it, right? It's nothing to write home about. And oh my God, I'm eating too much, I'm spending too much money on it. It's not good for me. Yeah, let's do something about it, right? But when somebody's making a lot of noise about it, it short circuits all the enjoyment out of it. When I used in the past, when I traveled to Taiwan, I made the mistake of staying with my grandparents. Now, everybody knows when you go on vacation, there's a lot of food available over there that's not available home. Of course, I'm going to eat a little bit more than your typical local who's lived there all their life, right? And then my grandmother would make noise about it. And again, the excessive noise about it kind of interrupts the enjoyment I had hoped to get. And now I got to do it again to chase that enjoyment. I know it sounds weird, but ever since I stopped staying with my grandparents when I traveled to Taiwan, stay in a hostel, first of all, I get to network with a lot of people when I stay in a hostel. But second, I might binge eat the first couple of days there, but oh my God, I quickly find something else and move on from that, let's say, right? I take it in and then I move on, right? My grandparents were preventing me from actually taking it in, right? They short-circuited the entire experience, if you will. So it's really taught me a lot about when I see somebody on a bender to let them enjoy it so they can move on, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.